Storyfriends. Story Friends. It's Story Friends. Hey, welcome back to Story Friends. We are your one-stop shop for whatever this is. And I'm glad you're here. We're going to walk through a few short segments with you, maybe learn a thing, maybe meet some people. It's going to be fun. And again, I'm glad you're here. So let's get moving right along with our first segment. This is something called Songs to Wash Your Hands To. When does this expire? When does this expire? Hey, Story Friends, welcome back. Time for a new segment that we're calling Fact Check. Now, sometimes when you hear something in the news or on TV or on your computer or on your phone or wherever, you sometimes need to check the facts. And it's important that we do that. And today we bring you a fact check about this very show. Today's fact check is brought to you by our friend Eben, who's fact checking something that I said in episode 7. If you remember back to episode 7, I was talking about my little baby cactus, and I said something like this. They're kind of like a camel. Do you know about camels? Camels have these humps that are full of water because they also like... Turns out, cactus are kind of like the camels of the plant world, but you know those humps that camels have? Well, it's a common misconception that they're full of water. In fact, they're full of fat, and what they store in there is energy. So camel's humps, not full of water, full of fat. So thanks, Eben, for that fact check, and let's keep moving right along. This episode is brought to you by Gus, a super cool kid with a dark-winged duck stuffed animal. Thank you, Gus. Welcome back, Story Friends. You know, I was thinking, we're all kind of stuck at home or spending a lot more time indoors than we usually do, but I was feeling like it was time for a field trip. So we're gonna make do with what we've got and take a field trip to the basement. What? Field trip to the field trip to the field trip to the basement. Welcome to the basement. This is our basement. So, you know, a lot of basements can feel kind of dark and creepy and unfinished, but ours is full of art and interesting things, and sometimes I like to come down here and find things I forgot about, and we're going to do that. We're going to find some cool stuff. All right, I found a cool thing over here. This is some art. This is a prop for a stage show of a crescent moon that was painted by my friend Emily. And I really like this moon. If you look, maybe you can see that it has that mole on its lip. It's cool. There's a lot of detail. I really like the way Emily made that cheek, that rosy cheek on the moon. Gotta love the moon. That's cool. Found that in the basement. All right. Hey, so I found some art from people who used to live here. I don't know what it all says. That says dog, and it has an alien face in it. There's a tic-tac-toe game going on. So there's some art on the walls down in the basement. All right, so here's a cool thing. I was just looking around, looking at the floor and stuff in the basement, and then I looked up and I saw this. This is an oar. And honestly, I have no idea where this oar came from. OAR, it's what you use to paddle a canoe. And I guess at one point I put some nails in this beam and hung this oar up there. So I don't have a canoe. I don't know where that oar came from, but it's in the basement. Oh, hey, check it out. I found this last little thing right here that I forgot about. This is a smoke machine. It makes like a fog that you push a button and it fills the air. You use it when you're performing shows and stuff and you want it to look extra cool. Maybe we'll have to figure out a way to use that in a little bit, but that's a field trip to the basement. What? Field trip to the field trip to the field trip to the basement. Welcome back, Story Friends. Hey, I was just wondering what our neighbors are up to. What do you say we go check in with them?
3, 2, 1.
Checking on the neighbors, it's a neighbor check. Neighbor check. Neighbor check.
Hey Story Friends, Neighbor Dan here. Today I'm going to show you how to build a vortex cannon out of a bucket. And as if that wasn't enough, I'll even bring out my smoke machine. Stop it! Okay, for this project you're going to need a plastic bag, a lid, and an old bucket. No, worse than that. Worse. Yep, that one. Cut along the edge of your bag to make it into a sheet, then carefully remove the center of your lid and open a hole in the base of your bucket. Now that we've prepared our plastic bucket and lid, it's time to put them all together. Take the plastic sheet and put it across the mouth of the bucket. Then seal the edge using the lid that we removed the center from. Once the edge is completely sealed, you're ready to go. I can tell that this plastic is nice and tight because it makes this sound when I flick it. Now it's just a matter of removing the excess. So, what's going on here? How are we capable of putting out these candles from across the room just by slapping on the back of this bucket? The answer is vortices. Every time that I slap the membrane on the back of the vortex cannon, it releases a tiny ring of air pressure. This ring travels across the room, swirling in and out of itself, sort of like this animation. You can see it with your naked eye, but you gotta get out a smoke machine. Look closely at the poofs of smoke. Can you see that each one is actually a tiny vortex, swirling in and out of itself, just like the animation? I really enjoy sharing this with you, especially you, Gus. I hope you're having a great day. Well, that's it for today, Story Friends. Thanks for hanging out and building a vortex cannon with me. Back to you, Dylan.
Checking on the neighbors, it's a neighbor check. Neighbor check. Neighbor check. Take a little minute right out of your day. Have a little bit of tea for two for one. Take a little minute right out of your day. Have a little bit of tea for two for one. When does this expire? When does this expire? Cheat-a check, 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 cheat-a check. She's a little dog sitting on the thing by the fire. It's a cheat-a check, cheat-a check, cheat-a check, cheat-a check, cheat-a check. How's she doing? Cheat-a check, doing great. Cheat-a check, cheat-a check. Well, friends, that's it for today's show. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back with more before too long. So, as is our custom, we'll leave you with one last song. And this is something we're just going to make up as we go. So until next time, everybody be safe and keep turning a curious eye towards the weird, beautiful world around you. We'll see you soon. We're wasting so much time together. How about that weather? Yeah, it's spring, but it's snowing outside. It's not that much of a surprise. We live in Michigan and it does that. For months and months and months, it does that. So anyway, you can still go outside though, like I did today with the dog. She walked around the block and hated it. It was really cold and she's very small, but that's okay. The other day I also went out when the sun was shining and I saw a lot of birds. You know that I love those birds. Maybe I should go study more about birds and plants and camels. Night night.